So you just got a camera to up the quality of your content, but you aren't really sure how to use it? Don't worry, I got you. I am a Sony user, so some of these tips might only apply to Sony cameras, but the majority of it will apply to cameras in general. This is TikTok Film School Part 1. The first thing we're going to be talking about is shooting in manual mode, and there's 4 terms you need to know: shutter speed, ISO, aperture, and frame rate. Your frame rate is how many frames your camera captures per second. Most cameras are 24, 30, and 60 frames per second, and some cameras can shoot up to 120 frames per second. Now let's break these down a little bit. 24 frames per second is what our eye naturally sees, and it's what most movies are produced in. It's also just gonna look the most cinematic. Some people prefer to shoot in 30 frames. It makes it look a tiny bit smoother. But my golden rule for content is don't shoot in 60 or 120 frames per second unless you're going to slow that footage down when you edit it. If you don't slow down 60 frames per second, it's going to look a little unnatural and not as cinematic as if you shot it in 24 frames per second. Make sure you follow so you can catch part 2 where I talk about aperture, shutter speed, and ISO.